Hello, and thank you for your interest in University of Maryland University College, and in particular, cyber investigation and cloud computing. Today, we are going to go over and give an overview of those two programs. We'll start by introducing our presenters, who are the program chairs of each of those programs respectively, and then we'll close out with the benefits of the alliance that your employer has with UMUC and how you may be able to take advantage of that. So first, I would like to introduce Patrick O'Gwen. Patrick, would you like to take a moment to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, good evening. My name is Patrick O'Gwen. I'm the graduate program chair for digital forensic cyber investigations at UMUC. Certainly happy to be here with everyone, and I look forward to you participating in the UMUC cybersecurity studies.
And next we have Jeff Chaputra. Jeff?
Thank you, Justin. Hello, everybody. Jeff Chaputra. I'm the program chair for the cloud computing architecture here at UMUC. Thank you again for your interest at UMUC and for our programs. I look forward to having you at UMUC.
Thank you. And so we'll get right into it, and we'll start with the digital forensics and cyber investigation. So I will turn it back over to Patrick.
Hey, thank you. Just a program overview. The UMUC Graduate Digital Forensics Program is designed to help the students become superior problem solvers, and our expectation is that members from the diverse community that we serve, from the military to private industry to career changers, will develop the ability to perform real well in scenario-based, competency-based learning scenarios that will allow you to develop real-world problem-solving skills. Go to the next slide. Justin? Okay, the competencies that we'll be utilizing in the program are hands-on digital forensic cyber investigation case scenarios, where students will learn the fundamentals of cybersecurity. They'll learn about operating systems and how to utilize the vulnerabilities in the operating systems to conduct digital forensics examinations. They'll learn about threat analysis and how to meet those the demands that are involved with analyzing the threats that many businesses and government commonly face. Students will develop extensive experience in formulating digital forensics investigation plans, budgeting, and managing digital forensics investigation, and looking at artifacts from different types of media that examiners are commonly called upon to examine, along with web-based analysis, and looking at the increasing area of mobile incident response and investigation of handheld devices. Next slide. At its core, digital forensic cyber investigation is problem solving. Our ultimate goal is to develop superior problem solvers who would become leaders in the field. What that means is we expect that students who graduate from our programs will be able to perform in areas far beyond the immediate tasks that they've either been assigned to or the jobs that they hold. We can go to the next slide. Industry trends. The demand is continuing. We can go to the next slide. There's an increasing demand in cybersecurity for unfilled positions that is growing every day. Here we're just giving you a sampling of the projections from cyberseek.org and EMSI.com, where there's a projection over the next 5 years that digital forensic cyber investigation related fields will be at least a 14% increase across the nation and a 9% for the Maryland metropolitan area. These are just minimal projections. It's likely that the demand will actually be higher because we're actually already a year behind on the data because of the growth in the field. Next slide. Why should you study digital forensic cyber investigation? Well, because again, these are just a sampling of the opportunities that you can expect there, but there will be more that will develop as the technology continues to expand into various fields. Cybersecurity specialist or technician, cybercrime analyst. The area for the demand for analysts will continue to increase. Incident response, which is going to, again, you see that that's a high demand area because these incident response, they continue to happen every day. Auditors, which is an emerging area. You can go to the next slide. Cybersecurity analysts, again, this is another focus area both in government and in industry. Cybersecurity consultant, that covers a wide array of people who operate in the field who may not only be doing digital forensics, cyber investigation, but a lot of spin-off positions that result from this work. In penetration and vulnerability testing, you see, again, very strong numbers. Next slide. Cybersecurity manager, administrator. These are the areas in which we expect our graduates to become leaders in the field. We're training, again, problem solvers who will develop vision and be able to execute on that vision to manage these processes, not just the people who are doing the job, but to manage the performance of these investigations and examinations, both in government, industry, and it could even be in the startup arena. Cybersecurity engineers, again, that might be interrelated to individuals who may have backgrounds that they can build on the software engineering and other related fields. Cybersecurity architect, again, there are a number of individuals who operate in this arena to direct major programs and projects in government, particularly and in private industry. Next slide. This is my email if you need to reach me for any reason as the program chair of the Graduate Digital Forensic Cyber Investigation Program, patrick.o'gwynn@umuc.edu. And thank you very much.
All right, and now, thank you, Patrick, and now we will hear from Jeff about cloud computing architecture.
Thanks, Justin. So cloud computing is a very hot field today. Everybody is talking about cloud computing. Companies are moving to the cloud. That's a term that you're going to hear a lot if you haven't already. So let's talk first about the definition of cloud computing. NIST, the National Institute for Standards and Technology, defined cloud computing as a model for enabling ubiquitous, convenient, on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources that can be rapidly provisioned and released with minimal management effort or service provider interactions. Seems like a lot of work there, but the key point is that instead of housing your own your IT infrastructure, companies are now moving things to the cloud. They're asking cloud providers to manage their IT resources or IT their computing services. So that's how they're able to save money. By instead of hosting their own data centers, they just pay for data centers that were managed by cloud providers such as AWS or Microsoft. Next slide, please. So in the industry, there are many reports that's produced on a yearly basis. RightScale is one of the companies that released this annual report called State of the Cloud Report. The 2018 State of the Cloud is out. You can Google that out. Haven't seen the 2019 version out yet. Maybe it'll out in a few months. So look for that. Again, it's RightScale and then State of the Cloud Report. Here's just one snippet of that. It's showing that 66% of the enterprises have some of their IT workload in the cloud. That's 2/3 of all companies. 28% have plans to deploy to the cloud, and only 6% has no plans for the cloud at all. So think about that. Only of all the corporate IT, corporate America, only 6% have no plan for the cloud. So majority of them, at some point or another, is going to either already in the cloud or have planned to move to the cloud. And with that move, they will need a cloud professional to help them with the migration to the cloud. Next slide, please. The Bureau of Labor Statistics have some stat on cloud computing as well. So they show that the 3 areas in IP that will drive the growth, one of them is cloud computing. The other 2 are big data and information security or cyber security. They also projected that the growth, that's 2016 to 2018, I apologize for the typo there, to be 13%. And then the median salary for a computer network architect in 2017 is over $100,000 a year. And again, those are the job that the degree will prepare you for. Go ahead, next slide. Forbes also have some forecasts about cloud computing. The public cloud service market is going to grow from just a little bit over 200 billion to over 400 billion by 2020. So almost double in the span of 4 years. 74% of the chief financial officer in tech companies indicate that cloud computing will be the one factor that's going to have the biggest impact in their business. This is important here to note is because these are not cloud computing companies. These are in general just technology companies. Any technology company survey. And of those, the 74% of the CFO, and again, CFO are usually not technical person. These are the person that manage the financial of the company. So 3/4 of the CFO in the companies indicate that cloud computing is the biggest factor in their growth. And then cloud computing spending at the company level is growing at 4.5 times the rate of IT spending since 2009. What it means is that in general, every companies have an IT budget. IT budget obviously is growing as their company grow, but their spending for cloud computing is taking a bigger chunk of their IT spending overall because it's growing at 4.5 times rate. And then in 2018, at least half the IT spending will be for cloud-based services. Next, please. In terms of the job outlook, Forbes quoted that 3.9 million cloud-related job available. The median salary, according to Monster.com, is 124,000. And then some of the top job titles are listed there, 5 of them. There are more cloud titles. I just listed those 4 because those are the 4 that our program will prepare you for. One thing that I didn't put here, but I just heard from a presentation this morning actually, is that a survey from LinkedIn, the main professional social networking site, LinkedIn.com, they published for the past 4 years that the top skills that employers are looking for, the top skills is cloud computing for the past 4 years. Next, please. As we talk about cloud computing, and here we're in the DC metro area, we have to kind of talk a little bit about how it relates to the federal government. So realizing that federal government is a big consumer of technology, the major cloud provider, AWS and Microsoft, has created their own cloud just for government customer or government clients. So AWS GovCloud and Microsoft Azure Government are a big offering from them. And then the federal government themselves, they have the Cloud First and Cloud Smarts policy. I encourage you to Google and look that up. Cloud First is not new. It's been here for about almost 10 years. It's been recently replaced by the Cloud Smart policy by the current administrations. And to that effect, both of them lead up to FedRAMP. FedRAMP is a program by the federal government to help make it easier for federal and state government to adopt cloud technology. Next, please. Real quick about the program itself. So this is the Master of Science in Cloud Computing Architecture. There are 6 credits, 6 courses at 6 credits each, so a total of 36 credits. It starts with decisive thinking, communicating, and leading, and then you'll take a sequence of courses ending in a capstone course called Cloud Computing Orchestrations. More information about each one of those are available on our website, so I'm not going to bore you with talk about each of the courses. Next slide, please. Some feature about our program. Just like any other program at UMUC, this is designed with input from industry leaders. We don't just go out and develop the program on our own. We go and gather industry experts. We get them to help us develop this program. We ask them what skills or knowledge that our students should have when they graduate. What are the skills that you're looking for in prospective employees? So we use those to develop the courses. We have extensive hands-on lab. A lot of them are in AWS and Azure. We have projects in the classes that are realistic to what you would do in the real world. We don't assign, for example, term papers, because again, as a cloud professional, your boss is not going to ask you to do a term paper. Our faculty are all professional in the field with years of cloud computing experience. I'm a program chair for the cloud computing, but I myself don't teach the cloud computing courses. I hire people that are actual cloud architect in the field to teach those courses. And then we have alliances with AWS, with VMware, with Microsoft, and with Dell EMC. The purpose of these alliances are to get them to help us oversee our program, give us feedback, share resources, and basically to keep our program current and give the best offering for our students. Next slide, please. A few sample class projects that you will be doing. Again, I mentioned before, you will not see a term paper, for example. Doesn't mean you're not going to do any writing assignments. There will be some writing assignments, but the writing assignments will be in the form of writing that you will do as a cloud architect. So, for example, as you prepare a risk analysis report on a cloud migrations, you will perform legal and compliance requirements review on cloud adoptions. You will prepare a cloud service level agreement. Some of the hands-on lab would include deploy a cloud service on AWS or Azure. Migrate services from on-premise to the cloud, and configure cloud orchestrations. Next slide, please. Some recommended background. So we highly recommend students coming to the program to have a bachelor degree in computing or any information technology field. Or if you don't have that, we look for professionals already working in the IT field. Or if you have none of those, we do have ASC 605 Basic Information Technology course that's available for you to take to bring you up to speed with the current trend in the IT field. Next slide, please. And finally, here are my contact information. Jeff Chiputra. I have an academic specialist, Mary Murrell. You can also reach out to her. Both of us will always be available to answer your questions. Feel free to reach out to me, or if you didn't hear back from me right away, feel free to reach out to Mary. And with that, I believe I'm going to turn this back to Justin.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Patrick, both for the wonderful information. And to everyone here, we hope you found this information beneficial as you consider the next steps for your career and your education. Last, we're going to close out with benefits that may be available to you through educational alliances that your employer has with UMUC. And so some of these benefits include tuition reduction on out-of-state tuition, which oftentimes is up to 25% off. A $50 application fee waiver for attending today's event, and then your employer likely has a website portal set up with UMUC, so we would encourage you to reach out to your appropriate human resource or learning and development professional at your organization to find that website. Here at UMUC, we are always available, in particular in corporate learning solutions, and we can be reached anytime at 855-CLS-5300 or by email at cls@umuc.edu. Again, we appreciate your time, and we hope you found the information today to be beneficial to you.